Greetings and welcome to Warner Bros World Abu Dhabi. Super excited to visit this park today as it's the one park out here I've not been to other than SeaWorld because that only opened recently. Got some huge rides here, a lot of big dark rides, a lot of DC properties and that sort of thing. Travelled down here today from Dubai on the complimentary Yas Island shuttle. That's taken about an hour and 40 minutes. Picked me up from Sheraton at Mall of the Emirates. It drops off at SeaWorld, Ferrari World, and of course here at Warner Bros World as well. So let's get out of this oppressive heat into the aircon and have some fun at Warner Bros World Abu Dhabi. Oh wow, what an entrance this is. And the first thing I notice is we actually have a sky. How cool is that? One of my criticisms at IMG was that they didn't really do much with the ceiling, and I think that's a real missed opportunity with an indoor theme park. But they've absolutely nailed this. This looks stunning. So I think I'm going to start my day in Gotham because I think this is where some of the more exciting rides are going to be. And already the vibe has shifted. The bright lights of Metropolis are replaced by the dark, foreboding atmosphere of Gotham. I'm honestly a bit blown away by the standard of theming here. Like, this blows IMG out of the water, and that place is pretty impressive in itself, but this is something else. What an elaborately themed funhouse. Scarecrow's got his own ride over here as well. That looks like a Zamperla air race. So I believe this Wayne Tech building over here is Batman Night Flight. In fact, it is. I can see the sign for it now. I was obviously just being blind earlier, so I'm going to go check this out because this looks incredible.
We're taking to help Gotham City evolve into the crime-free city we know it can be. With that, I present Wayne Tech's latest innovation, the Drone Wing. The Drone Wing is an airborne control vehicle.
So I think this is generic setup for what the ride vehicle is and what its purpose is in a real-world Gotham scenario. These are always a little bit convoluted, aren't they?
I suspect it was the Joker who broke out of Arkham tonight, and this is the first step in a larger plan. I need to investigate the helicopter crash site to determine what that device can do, and you're coming with me.
Just ridden Batman Night Flight there. And I'm not really sure what I make of that, to be honest. Now, it's not helped by the fact there were some technical issues towards the end. So in terms of ride system, it's very similar to Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. It's the robo-arm type situation, mixture of screens and practical effects. The loading situation is quite different though. So unlike Harry Potter, where you've got this kind of rolling loading system, here they have 4 separate batching bays. You sort of just wait by a door, then it opens, and the ride vehicle is just sort of parked up there waiting for you. Now, storyline wise, it's quite simple to follow. You're on one of these drones that Batman's piloting while he's down in his Batmobile. Joker takes control of them and it all kind of gets a bit chaotic. The problem is that unlike Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, I don't feel these screens are particularly well integrated. It's very obvious when you're moving into a screen-based section. And like Harry Potter, the screens are not particularly high definition, so sometimes it does take a bit of eye straining to figure out exactly what's going on. That being said, the practical areas were really cool, particularly the poison ivy section I was really impressed by. But like I say, there was a weird technical issue at the end where I think we were supposed to be positioned in front of a screen and be dropped back down into the Batcave, but we kind of stopped in front of a wall next to the screen instead. So you could hear Alfred explaining what was going on, but we were just staring at a wall. Then we got positioned in front of the screen, but the animation had already happened, so it was just a blank screen, and then we went back into the station. So bit of a weird finale there, but I'll give it another go later. There are not many queues here today. It was only a 5-minute wait, so I'll try and get back on. But yeah, early first impressions were it was good, but I think I expected a bit more. I do love how dark and atmospheric it is in Gotham though. And Mr. Freeze has his own ice cream truck. I mean, if you're able to freeze things, why not monetize it? Allen Park Ridge. Aha! Quite a cool forced perspective here. Looks like you're walking into a city. Actually, it's a dead end. And I'm just approaching the Hall of Justice here. How impressive is this? Like, having gone to Park Warner Madrid earlier this year, I really feel as though Spain have had a bit of a rough deal in the theming states, because this is just on another level. Although they have an awesome Intamin, so I guess there's a trade-off. Oh, wow. Got some facts about the Justice League in the queue here. So that was really good. Very similar stylistically to Spider-Man at Universal in Orlando. Same sort of ride system, the trackless scoop-style vehicles, although these are called javelins. And yeah, that was really decent. It reminded me a lot of Spider-Man in the way it was put together. Obviously a mixture of screens and practical. Much better integrated than Night Flight was, I thought. Storyline, fairly straightforward to follow. Just Justice League smashing up a bad guy who had sent a load of weird plant things to attach to people's faces and stuff. But good. Really enjoyed that. I'll probably get back on that one later. Again, much like Night Flight, it's a slightly odd system where you sort of get batched into sort of a holding bay and then go straight into your ride vehicle, which is sat there waiting for you, rather than it kind of following through on a sort of a track style system like they do in Universal. But that was good. I really enjoyed that. I will go back on that one later. Again, very little queue there, pretty much walk straight on. So let's continue to explore Metropolis and maybe get some food, because I'm quite peckish. So a couple of food options here. We've got Ace of Clubs, which does a mixture of stuff like shawarma and curries and things. That ticker looks really good, actually. And then over this side, we've got Big Belly Burger. Look at this. Daily Planet there. So Starlight Restaurant was the restaurant I was thinking of. So I think I might go and give this a look. Now this whole area here, they have a big show here a few times a day, a big sort of projection type show. I've really got to make sure I catch that, because it looks fantastic. What I would say is this does not feel like a massive park. I mean, I think I've covered the entire left side of it already. You've then got Cartoon Junction over there, and you've got a Flintstone section over the back there. But let's go get some lunch. So this is certainly not the cheapest theme park food you're going to see, but the quality does look good, and I feel like treating myself, so let's give it a go. So I've placed my order there, and this is my view for lunch. How cool is this? So my starter has arrived. Short beef rib tacos. These look pretty banging. So my main course of fish and chips has also arrived, and this looks pretty good too. So I'm pretty full up right now. That was quite a lot of food. Not the cheapest lunch you're going to get. All in all, that came to about £45, which I guess a starter, main, 2 drinks, you're going to pay that at a high street restaurant anyway. Unlike most places out here, the drinks refills weren't included, so you didn't have to pay for every drink you had. Also, just spoke to security there in the main plaza, asking when the show would be on. and he said tomorrow, so doesn't look like I'll be seeing that one today. Just heading into Bedrock now, and let's see what it's like in here. In fact, I was just joined by Wilma for lunch, so not sure how happy Fred's going to be with me. I think we're going to go and check out the Flintstones Bedrock River Adventure.
Yours, Wilma.
And I wish my hair looked as good down as yours does, Betty.
I sure hope we're not late, buddy. As Grand Poobah, the Royal Order of Water Buffalo.
Quite weird to see a giant screen on a water ride there, and really cool how it kind of worked in tandem with the turntable. The drop was not the biggest, but it did give me a nice little spraying, so I am feeling quite refreshed now. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a really good water ride, great for the whole family, and yeah, can't complain with that one at all. There were some slightly weird antics just as I got onto ride there, with a parent who was not doing a very good job of keeping control of his unruly child, who had just got off the boat and was running back towards the main trough. I think his mother was on the boat behind. 3 times the staff members said, look, you've got to keep your child away from the water because he might fall in, and he just kept running back and forward over and over again. So nearly got a bit of an Augustus Gloop moment there, which kind of would have been funny to be fair, but even still. We have a roller coaster. Man's getting a new cred. I don't really know much about this, like who the manufacturer is or anything. It's some sort of inverted model, but the trains are quite chunky. I'm really not sure who manufactured this, so I think I might jump on RCDB just to pretend that I'm more knowledgeable. So Fast and Furious there was a pretty cool little family coaster. The first drop is in complete darkness, which is quite cool. The helixes do pull some quite decent forces. They've got a front row ride, so it could be even stronger on the back. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. Also, just thinking to myself how weird it is that Intamin have built Fast and Furious here. They're also building the Fast and Furious coaster over at Universal Hollywood. I wonder if there are any other manufacturers who have 2 similarly named roller coasters based on completely different intellectual properties. I've been commenting on how quiet the parks are out here, but I tell you what, this Bedrock area is actually pretty busy. I waited around 20 minutes there for that ride on Fast and Furious, partly because the operations are quite slow. It's one train and it only holds 10 passengers. So I found myself in Cartoon Junction. And we've got Scooby-Doo Museum of Mystery, so let's go and check this one out. And once again, no expense spared on the queue line. Oh, that dude's got eyes. Weird.
This is so creepy that
Is scaring everyone away.
Don't worry, Professor. We'll investigate this mystery.
Like, leave it to us to run into a haunted museum on our way to the beach. Okay, gang. Let's split up and look for clues. Run!
Jeez, I think this place might really be haunted. haunted.
Why? Should everyone smile and wave hello? Maggie, it's a ghost. Help.
My glasses! I can't find my glasses!
Watch out! This ghost can conjure fire. The heat will ruin my hair.
These exhibits are getting too hot. Let's go.
Look, behind us, the fire revealed a secret passageway.
Those ghosts just don't know when to quit.
Don't worry, Dad. Our trap is all ready to go. Now, gang! And the villain is...
The professor's brother! But why?
Scooby-Doo was pretty good fun there. It's pretty standard trackless dark ride. 3 vehicles go off. It sort of splits them off a little bit in some sections, so I do think you get a slightly different ride depending on which vehicle you're in, but I'm not sure it's dramatically different. But yeah, that was pretty good fun. It was quite silly, some quite cool little animatronics and little sections where it would go dark and obviously it would spin round and you get a different animatronic. But yeah, pretty cool. Enjoyed that. Not sure I'd ride it again, but these trackless dark rides are usually pretty good fun, and that one did the job. I think I need one of those. Unnecessary magnet theming. I think that goes against health and safety.
Where quality is our number one breed. We're glad to have you aboard here as our newest package delivery team members.
We're living in the future.
Yeah, this is Acme Dispatch Control. Welcome to the team, yada yada. Listen, my last delivery crew got vaporized en route to Venus, so we're way behind schedule. Your 30 hours of orientation training had to be cut to 10 seconds. So move it. The duck will teach you how to scan. Just scan all those targets. Okay, Acme Delivery Crew, you're now cleared to exit Earth's orbit.
Where's the kaboom? There's supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
You can't blow up the Earth. All the people I know are there.
Where'd you go? Mars? Oh yeah, there's one last delivery stop, so scan as much as you can. Nice work.
I won.
So that's good enough to award you.
Now that was actually a really fun 3D shooting dark ride. I can usually take or leave those, but you do often get some standouts like Toy Story Mania. I think in many ways that surpassed Toy Story Mania. The theming was really good, but what I particularly enjoyed is it actually had some physical targets that if you hit them, it would actually create something that would happen, like you'll get things spin around or light up or that sort of thing. Really cool. I enjoyed that. Boom. Right, let's head back into Gotham City. So, my second attempt at riding Riddler's Revolution. So as far as Zamperla discos go, that was pretty good fun. One thing that always fascinates me about those is how when you sit down, the restraint will either gently ease into your back or it will just thump you into the kidneys. That was definitely the latter. So we've still got a 30-minute queue for Green Lantern Galactic Odyssey. That's a flying theatre, so I'm going to leave that for a little bit. I think I'm following some kind of wrestler. I do love the skyline in here. It's so cool. And it is indeed inside this building. However, it's currently unavailable. So my guess is that it's probably kind of similar to the Hulk Epsilon-based 3D ride. But that's just a guess. I actually have no idea what it's going to be. And that's the fun about coming to a park where nearly everything is a dark ride and there's very little footage of it out on the internet, because it's all a bit of a surprise, and that's quite fun and rare, to be fair. So I think while I'm round here, it'd be rude not to have another go on Justice League World Attacks. And there's a clear sign there saying, please keep up the stage. No one cares. Kind of needs one of these guys to step up a bit and take charge. I mean, come on, Batman, what are you playing at, geez? You're supposed to be a vigilante. So Superman 360 is still closed. I'm going to go and check out what the queue is like for the Green Lantern ride. Just had another ride there on Justice League. That's a really good ride. It is really fun. There's not really much else to say. If you like the Spider-Man type rides, you're probably going to enjoy that. Green Lantern is still showing 30 minutes. I think I'm just going to eat it up. The Green Lantern Flying Theatre. That'll win some awards. Awards for most frustrating queue line experience, most cringe-worthy dark ride dialogue, and darkest screen on any ride I think I've ever seen. Honestly, 3D will always mean you've got like a 30% light differential, but that was ridiculous. It was like someone had just turned the brightness down completely. Yeah, the whole thing was a bit frustrating, if I'm honest. The queue took about an hour to clear, even though there were only around 40 people in it. They only appeared to be running one level of the flying theatre, so it was really frustratingly slow moving. I mean, if you've been on a flying theatre, you kind of know how they go. I do generally prefer story-led theatres like this, as opposed to the ones that just kind of fly over bits of land and then cut to another bit of land. But this is no Flight of the Skyline. It is a bit of a mess. Like I say, the dialogue is awful. It's so bad. It's just constant stuff about how we have the most amazing willpower. And it's like, you need willpower to stand in an hour-long queue for that piece of shite. So anyway, probably worst ride of the day. I'm going to go and see if Superman 360 has opened, because I need something to kind of lift my spirits again after that trash. And unfortunately, I can see from here that Superman 360 is still closed. I have about an hour left here at the park before I need to go and get my shuttle back to Dubai. So it does look like I may not get this today. Yeah, that's not looking promising at all. So with Superman 360 still closed, I thought I'd head over to Batman Night Flight and give this another go after my slightly weird experience earlier. Unfortunately, this is also closed due to technical difficulties. So that's two of the major rides down. That is, of course, the risk when you have so many sort of technology-based dark rides, that it only takes one little thing to go wrong and it kind of disrupts the experience. So this is Teen Titans Training Academy, just a bit of a kind of kids adventure course, a little bit similar to what I have in the Acme section actually. A quick look around the various merch stores here. Unsurprisingly, what you're going to get is a lot of IP based stuff, lots of DC, cartoony things, etc. Kind of like IMG, you're not getting a great deal of merch that's specific to the park itself. It's just all built based around the IPs that things are themed on. I think without question the standout attraction of this park is the theming itself. Like, everywhere you look, like, it's clear that so much effort has been put into this. I just love the transition from the bright, cartoony area into Gotham. By the way, if you're wondering about some of my avant-garde filming styles out here in the United Arab Emirates, there are actually laws which state you can't film or photograph anybody without their permission. So it's just about being sensible with the footage you're taking while out here, and just sort of being respectful of the local laws and customs, really. Certainly no one's challenged anything, but it's like I say, it's just about being a bit sensible and trying not to overtly keep capturing people in your footage. Well, as I've only got around half an hour left of my day here at Warner Bros Abu Dhabi, thought I'd share my thoughts here in the back streets of Metropolis. Hopefully I won't be victim of a crime and require saving from a mild-mannered reporter. Anyway, this is a really well-themed park, and I think that's the standout here. That's the thing you come here for, is to appreciate all this incredible theming. There are some really good rides here, however, they are very reliant on screens. And while they're all a very reasonable standard of dark ride, I have found as the day's gone on, they're all beginning to just sort of merge into one in my mind. Like, I think because they're all based on similar IPs as well, you know, you've got 3 screen-based dark rides all based around DC characters, and a 4th which I've not even been able to ride yet today. So they're all kind of, I'm finding it hard to differentiate what made them unique in my mind, if you know what I mean. And when I think about Batman Night Flight and Justice League, really the only thing different there is the ride system itself. The actual kind of storylines and the way the screens interact with practical are very similar. So it would be good to see a bigger variety of attractions here. I think you could level the same sort of criticisms that people say about Universal Studios to Warner Brothers here as well, in that it just needs a bit more variety of attraction to make the day feel a bit more complete, if that makes sense. I did really enjoy Bedrock as well, though. The Flintstones water ride was really cool. I also really enjoyed the Intamin family coaster. It might have been short, but it was good fun. But I think you'll notice from my reactions to things as the day's gone on that I kind of started very wide-eyed and excited, and it's slowly tempered as the day's gone on, as each ride's been kind of slightly less impressive than the last, and there has also been a lot of ride closures and a lot of frustrating operations. It's actually reasonably busy here, which I didn't actually expect, and it's actually really good to see, because I was concerned that these parks would be completely dead. However, the management of queue lines could definitely be improved. I think my experience with Green Lantern in particular was very frustrating. But then you look around at all this incredible theming and you kind of go, yeah, it's not so bad. Ticket prices for Warner Bros Abu Dhabi start at around £75 if you book online in advance. It's slightly more if you pay on a day. However, what you really want to do is make a combo package with one or more of the other parks here on Yas Island. A 3-park ticket actually works out at around £125 and gives you 14-day access to all 3 of the theme parks here on the island. So that's what I went for. It certainly feels like by far the best value. Outright paying 75 quid for this experience today, I would probably feel a little bit robbed, because other than the theming and maybe 2 or 3 of the attractions, which have been really impressive, I do feel like a lot of the rides here are quite average and can be done a lot better in other parks around the world. So that concludes my day here at Warner Bros World Abu Dhabi. I think overall it is a decent park. It just has a few frustrations that I think let it down. I do feel as though many of the top tier attractions are a bit too similar to each other. And a natural thing to do is to compare it with IMG, because they do have a lot of similarities. They're both big indoor parks. They both have superhero themes and cartoon themes. And while this is unquestionably the better presented of the 2 parks, I do feel as though I had a better overall experience at IMG. I think just because of the variety between attractions, but also, I don't know, it just felt a little bit friendlier. I think that's a hard thing to put into context, but it did feel like there was a slightly happier vibe there and a bit more of an atmosphere. Overall though, really happy I came here. I'll try and come back for a couple of hours just to get those rides I missed. Otherwise, I'll leave it there. There are some more Dubai videos up here, some on the screen. Watch those for more awkward presenting, but it would really help the channel. So thank you, and I'll see you next time.